Now there is a little bit information about the diabetes in spiders. Diabetes in spiders is a condition which is because of the decreased levels of the antidiuretic hormones. You will learn about it in more detail in renal physiology. There are two types of the diabetes mellitus. One is the central diabetes in spiders and other is the nephrogenic diabetes in spiders. The central diabetes in spiders is due to the absence of ADH, collecting tubules and collecting ducts fail to reabsorb water, leading to the formation of large volume of dilute urine. In this condition, the ADH is absent. There is decreased production of ADH from the posterior or release of ADH from the posterior pituitary gland. And so this is known as central because the cause is present in the center in the brain. The other one is the nephrogenic diabetes in spiders. In this, the nephrons cannot respond to antidiuretic hormone, leading to the formation of large volume of dilute urine. In this type of diabetes in spiders, the hormone is present, but the nephrons are not responding either because of the defect in receptors or because of the resistance of the receptors to oxytocin. Oxytocin has two important effects: contraction of the uterus, contraction of the pregnant uterus, which causes contraction of the uterus at the end of gestation and it helps in the delivery of baby. The other effect, in the important effect, is the contraction of myoepithelial cells in the breast, which aids in milk ejection and this causes the milk to be expressed from the alveoli into the ducts of the breast so that the baby can obtain it by suckling. Milk ejection reflex. Milk is continuously secreted into the alveoli of the breast but does not flow easily from the alveoli into the ductal system and therefore does not continually leak from the breast nipple. It is normally initiated by a neuroendocrine or neurohormonal humoral reflex. Suckling is an immediate and major stimulus for oxytocin secretion. Mechanism: the suckling stimulus on the nipple. When this stimulus is applied on the nipple after the suckling of the nipple by the baby, by the infant or newborn, there will be stimulation of the sensory nerves that carries the signals from the nipple to the brain, to the paraventricular and supraoptic nuclei of the hypothalamus. It results in the release of oxytocin by posterior pituitary gland, and the oxytocin is then carried by the blood to the breast, where it causes the myoepithelial cells that surround the outer walls of the alveoli to contract. This leads to expression of milk from the breast. The milk begins to flow in less than a minute after the beginning of a suckling, and this mechanism is known as milk letdown or milk ejection. The stimulus is suckling. After the suckling, the sensory nerves carry the signals from the breast to the hypothalamus, to the supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei of hypothalamus. This leads to the release of posterior of oxytocin from posterior pituitary gland. This oxytocin then flows through the blood to the breast, where it causes the contraction of myoepithelial cells and the expression or release of milk from the breast. Mechanism of contraction of pregnant uterus. The amount of oxytocin in the plasma increases during labor, especially during the last stage of labor. The stimulation of cervix in a pregnant female elicits nervous signals that pass to hypothalamus and cause increased secretion of oxytocin from the posterior pituitary gland. Now this is the summary of today's lecture. These are the neurosecretory cells, yeah, neuronal cell bodies in the hypothalamus. These are the neurons which are going to produce vasopressin, ADH, or and oxytocin. The green one is the oxytocin. This green one is the oxytocin, and the orange one is the vasopressin. These hormones, after production in the neuron cell bodies, they are released through the vesicular transport along the nerves, along the axons, whole length of the axons, and they are released into the blood This is through the hypothalamic posterior pituitary stalk. This is the hypothalamic posterior pituitary stalk, and through passing through this stalk, these hormones are released into the posterior pituitary gland, into the systemic blood.